Let's do this. Let's just do this. Plug my phone in. Okay, let's go. Let's go. There's Chad Hoey. There's Mr. Frank. Chet Hoey and Mr. Frank in the same feed. This is unconscionable. Something able. Come on. Michael O'Connell in the house. Shelley in the house. It's like a who's who today of the important people in my life. You know, plus Frank. Thanks for dropping by Saturday. Thank you for being around. Let me show everybody what I got from I got these from Michael O'Connell at the comic book and zine things. I got that. Drabble zines. A drabble is a work of microfiction is exactly 100 words long. A drabble zine adds the visual element and illustration and more. That one's pretty cool. Also got this one as well from Michael. Very cool. And also got the Rooster. 1969 is my birth year. So very cool. I will have to find a spot for those. Right now they're going on top of the printer, to be honest with you. Yeah, the Michael O'Connell. So that's pretty cool. Walking around, I did zines in the 90s. And they were not fancy. They were side stapled, Xerox, black and white garbage ones. All right. I did Black Moon magazine, but we're going to take a little tour here. I don't even know where the other ones are. I don't know. I know I had issue 1 and issue 2, but I don't know where they are. Anyway, we went to issue 3, October, November 1995. Let me move this so I can see if you can even see that. Okay. So that was Black Moon magazine. 60 pages. It had interviews, bands like Souls at Zero, tons of reviews of CDs. It had interviews with bands, movie reviews, horror fiction. Charlie Jacob, who passed away about a year or so ago, one of her stories got into this one. Issue 4 was our big seller. Marilyn Manson on the cover. Interview with I did an interview with Twiggy Ramirez, the bass player at the Stone Pony, and their what was that out? Antichrist Superstar or something had just come out. Supposed to be their last album. They were never going to do another album, they swore. But obviously they did and did things. Lots of interviews, lots of horror stuff. And then issue 5, we were doing $3.95. Then we had to go to $4.50 by issue 5 because we got a color cover. Never liked that picture. And then color back ad for Mass Psychosis Necroporno. Ken Goldman thing, bunch of different bands, a lot of goth bands, I guess you would call them. Although I did interview Napalm Death in this one, so there you go. We'll put these back on the thing, and those were super super fancy. Then I go to this thing Saturday expecting all of them to be these cheesy looking Xerox things, and it was very impressive, the quality. I guess with home printing and whatnot, you could really put out some really, really gorgeous... Like, if you picked up one of these comic books, you would think, like, Marvel or DC put this shit together. That's how good they were. So I was very impressed. There is a podcast called Drabblecast. I don't know if one has to do with the other. Mr. Frank, excellent question. I started out of the Blue Grill Drabblezine and the Gojira cards, and most people do the hand-stapled zine. I didn't see a ton of those. I did a couple of quick passes through, but a lot of the stuff I saw was very impressive, very fancy. Dang, Black Moon looks great. I'm never going to. I would love to start it up again. Because I just thought it was good. That when we did the Marilyn Manson one, so we had a company up in Amsterdam, New York, that did 5,000 copies. I think they cost us like $11,000 or $12,000 or something ridiculous. It was me and a partner. So like every dime we had, these, I'm in my mid 20s between divorces kind of thing. I think I had just I just hit the first divorce, and I was just starting to date the second ex-wife. And so all my money was sunk into this zine. And with Marilyn Manson, 96, 95, 96, they were huge. And so we sold out of every copy, like, bam, right away. Except for, obviously, I kept one. And then we rolled that money into the next one or two after that. But then I got out because it was just too much money. I just couldn't afford it anymore. And the other guy was like, Lou I was in my 20s, he was in his 40s, and he just loved going to, clubs and different places and trying to hit on women half his age. And I didn't like all the goth stuff anymore. I wasn't a huge fan. I wanted to do more metal stuff. And he was like, no, let's keep it to this and the horror stuff. So he bought me out for like $1,000 or something like that. And I think he did one or two more issues. And then that was it. Y'all were legit. Industrial Zine Fest. So yeah, we had a great time doing it, and it's one of those things where I would love to do it again, except I don't have the time or the patience to do any of it, or the inclination. But the Michael O'Connell is kicking ass. So keep that shit going. You know what I'm saying? The hell's this guy's name again? I like when I give somebody a name. Bernard, the Nard dog. Mm. And knock on wood, I've not had a problem with the intranet today. Yesterday, that really pissed me off. It dropped, and then it came back on, and then it dropped, and it came back, and then it dropped, and it did that like 10 times yesterday. I finally just gave up, and then it was out for about 2-3 hours. You do like that name, Travis? I don't need any more names right now. I will give a shout out, Frank, when I start something else. But I got all the names on this one I need. So don't be just wasting them out there. Trent is no skeet, nor Travis. Travis is no skeet either. I am using skeet, though, in the next thing I'm writing. Skeet Goggins. I just read that Walton Goggins, who I have this thing for, apparently, so he was born in Alabama, but he actually grew up in Lithia Springs, Georgia, which is just outside of Atlanta. And Lithia Springs is actually a city I've been in many, many times because my wife has a lot of commercial property up in Lithia Springs that she manages. So we've stayed there many, many times. I just found out that he grew up there and he actually went to high school in Lithia Springs. Saw an interview with him on TikTok. He's like, I grew up in a little town that nobody knows. I'm the only person that lived there, Lithia Springs, outside of Atlanta. Nobody knows where that is. I'm like, I know where that is. Sesserfuck, hi. Hi back. How's it going? First time, long time. My goal is just to get to the next page on this thing, really. I'm not going to be here chilling. My kneecap still hurts. Not as bad. I figured out if I walk a certain way, if I prance on it, on the balls of my feet, it does not hurt as much. Every now and then it hits wrong and it hurts. And I feel like if I ever step on anything like a cat toy or something, then it's going to be on fire. Very windy today. I got giant, some branches are falling off of the tree. It's crazy. Going on very good. Are you a gamer? Are you a writer? Or are you just passing through? Oh, Mr. Frank. Caesar Fock. Caesar Fock? I am following you now. Next page, Michael O'Connell. Next page. Excellent call, my friend. Caesar Brave Seal. Caesar Turkish Brave Seal. English. I went choppy. I did. And now the audio's gone? I'm showing no problems on my end. No what? You just said no. There's no audio? Yeah, anybody hear me? I think it's my earbuds or something. You know, stop doing that. Frank always calls out, oh my God, something happened. It's on your end. Shut up. You get me all worked up and I can't freaking... I don't know what it is on my end. So if it's on my end, that's too bad. But you check your stuff first, man. Come on. I can't. My knee hurts. I'm in a crappy mood because my knee hurts. I was well scheduled to jog a marathon and stuff, but now I can't. Take a chill pill. You don't call me G after saying take a chill pill. A little windy out here today. 87 degrees probably means it's 112. Very, very windy. Branches flying. Take 2 chill pills and call me in the morning. Oh, I will call you in the morning. I'll call you 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm not going to be up at 4 a.m. Let's be honest. I'm not going to be up at 4. Maybe about 10:30 I'll call you when I roll out of bed. Ooh, excuse me. We watched more episodes of The Shield last night. Loving the show. Loving that show. Even though it's 20-something years old. Still some good stuff. Netflix and chill. I don't like that. There's also some channel we watch. I don't remember which one, but they always say they're talking about like a show. Oh, Tuesday, next episode of whatever. Set your DVR. Like, why are you telling people to just tape your shows and watch them later? Like, shouldn't you be telling people to just watch your show? Hey, Tuesday night at 9, be there for whatever. Pimple Popper MD, whatever it is. I don't know, it makes no sense. To me, it makes no sense. None sense. Still counts as being watched it in the ratings if you record. Yeah, but why are you telling people to record it? Tell people to watch the damn thing. And then you hope if they don't watch it, they record it. It just seems like a weird way to promote your show. Hey, record my show to watch it later at your leisure. That's what we did to several shows. We have the last season of Shameless and the last season of Vikings. Both of those still taped. We have not watched either of them, and that's like, those have been sitting there for like, I don't know, 4 years maybe? When's the last time those shows had a new season out? Just seems odd. I mean, I get the theory behind it, but you should really be pushing your shows to watch. You know? We might take a break from The Shield tonight, only because we now have 2 episodes, episode 2 and 3 of the Mayor of Kingstown to watch. Michael Connor says, I lost interest in Vikings. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Is the season before the last one was alright, but not really great. And so when we just taped the last one, I don't know what we were doing, but we just never got around to it. And when we knew it was going to be the last season, too, that always bums me out. I'm like, all right, there's nothing else. Same with Shameless. I'm like, love the show, but then, okay, this is the last season, so we'll get around to watching them. And every now and then we look at them. I think they killed 2 birds with 1 stone with that message. It's not a good message, Ms. Frank. You can kind of try to spin it all you want, because I know the networks are paying you to do this. But for us common layman people out here, doesn't work. It aggravates. It gets me mad. It makes me not want to record it or watch it. So you're reminding people to read your book on Kindle Unlimited. No, because you can read it right now. That's like saying, hey, that would be the equivalent of saying, hey, you have 20 slots on Kindle Unlimited. Put my slot in the 20th slot and read it down the line somewhere. No, you say, hey, read my book. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Read it now. You want the sale, but you let everyone know it's there if you talk about KU. I make more money on KU than I do on sales, so that, I don't know why you're being feisty with me today. You need to let more love in your heart so these trivial things don't work out. But these are, here's my thing. Number one, you sound like my wife, who insists that everything I get excited about is trivial. It's not. It's very exciting. But I'm glad I don't have anything major in my life that these are awful things, except for my knee. My knee is, I don't know what's going on there. And there's no love in my heart for more than the things that I love now. So I'll tell you what I did love. I love this book right here. Wellfall. Anybody else read this one? Very good. I just finished it yesterday. Damn good. I was like, everybody's hyping this thing. This is not going to be a great book. I still got to do my review. I do Amazon, BookBub, and Goodreads review. And unlike Chuck Buddha, I actually leave a review and not just a bunch of numbers. It's on my library loan list. That's where I got this from. I got this from library. I didn't realize at the time when I put it on the list. I didn't look at the website too close. This is the large print edition. It's like the words are freaking huge, which is great. But then the book is also like 450 pages that way. Like, you know what? I don't not like that. I can read this book from halfway across the room. It's nice. My wife makes fun of me because I'm an old man reading like that, but Very good. I got like 4 or 5 books on the library on the loan list. I'm waiting to come in. I was afraid it would be too weighty, but now that it's got your blessing, I'm more open to checking it out. It's good. It's if you it's very claustrophobic. Obviously, the guy's in a whale stomach. I was hoping it was going to be more like Pinocchio, in the whale, but it's not. It's not that. It's very. It's a very good book. I was impressed. So when it comes in, Mr. Frank, I would, read it and enjoy it. It took me almost probably like 4 or 5 days to read it. All because there's so many damn pages, 450 pages in this large print version. I have Max Brooks' Devolution up next. That's the Bigfoot one, right? That's the Bigfoot one. I read that one. That was pretty good. It's a little slow in parts. It's a little what's the word I'm looking for? He I don't know. It's a good book. It just the only thing I had a problem with, it was a little bit too much of something. It's similar in style to World War Z, I understand. Kind of, yeah, there's that back and forth letters and diary entries and interviews and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's not just a straight, linear story. There's a lot of back and forth things. Kind of like World War Z. I guess that's his thing. Again, it's a pretty good book. That one gets a little weighty with all of the extra stuff he throws in, I think. It's kind of like watching that shark movie, the Under Paris, the other day. And they get very, very heavy at one point. Luckily, it's only like one scene where there's like protesters want to save the ocean, those idiots. I'm not saying you're an idiot for wanting to save the ocean. I'm just saying they make them into a bunch of, a huge group of dirty hippie looking people who want to save the whales, kind of thing. And then of course you get the flashes of, overfishing of sharks and cutting off their fins and all that kind of crap. And I'm like, oh, please don't do this 10 times in this movie. Let's not have this movie be about that. Luckily, it was not. Luckily, it was just really about sharks, wanting to eat people literally under Paris. I think the next one I'm going to read is the John Stamos book. That's the next one on there. And I also have the, I think I had a Josh Mallerman I also got from the library. Sounds like a Hunter Shea book, yes. Pretty much. Yep. I'm sure they stole it directly from Hunter Shea. So, Shea. Yeah, Hunter Shea. What do you got coming up, Frank? You got any book signings coming up or anything? You usually keep very busy. It's the summer now. I don't have anything. I mean, I'm going to Philly next month, but that's for my wife, for something for her. And then I guess I have the signing at Vortex Books in July, but that's really it. I'm not bringing any books. He's ordering books in, hopefully. The schedule's open leading into MondoCon. Yeah, I have that one thing in July and then MondoCon. Did a couple of events in September, the AuthorCon in October. The Mallory book was good, but is written in the voice of an 8-year-old. Really? I don't know. I like Mallory. I like him. I've been able to hang out with him at Scares That Care a couple times. Him and his hat. Shelley says, I've been working on the menu, Mr. Frank. Yeah, no M&Ms, she said this year. No M&Ms. Can you get me chopsticks, please? No, no chopsticks. You're a white dude from Sayreville, New Jersey. You don't eat with chopsticks. Oh, Shelly, don't feed into him. Don't feed into his. Don't ask for sauce. Yeah, don't get drunk and act like an idiot, like Amanda. This might be her last year. I want to eat my M&M with chopsticks all weekend. That would be interesting to see if you can balance them on your two little sticks. Well, you're gonna eat your pasta on Sunday night with your chopsticks. My English is not good. How do you organize your books while writing? Is there a program you use like Notion, or do you use a bullet journal? Uh, my problem is everything's in my head. So I don't. I'm just a total pantser. So I just write the next part and the next part and the next part. There's no really. There's post-it notes. I'll have post-it notes with some character names or something on it, but that's pretty much it. And then I have a dry erase board with all of my open projects, and so I know what I have to work on. When you eat pasta with chopsticks, it's called noodles. Ah, okay. I didn't know that. I just leave my books on the shelf while I'm writing. Oh, Mr. Frank. Yeah, there are people that will write big, long outlines of stuff and have character things. There was a woman on TikTok this morning, actually, that I saw that she's been, the last 6 months, she's been doing character sketches for her Cozy Mystery series that she's starting. And there's like 15 or 20 character sheets. And each character has two sheets to it. Two full sheets. And so she prints out in the corner an actor or a celebrity that the person kind of looks like. And then she has these forms that she fills out. Their height, their weight, politics, religion, favorite food, things they're allergic. I mean, like everything you would ever need to know about somebody and more. And I'm like, how much of that stuff is really going into your book? And if you're doing 15 characters, it just seems like a lot. And you're doing that for 6 months? How long does it take you to write the damn book? But some people, I would imagine some people procrastinate and figure they're going to do all that stuff instead. Do you only use Word when writing? I use Google Docs, usually because it auto-saves and because I co-write with another author on some trilogies. So that way we can both go in live and look at it. And then when it's done, I convert them to a Word document, and then I save them. I have an external drive, and then I used to have another computer, which I don't have anymore. But I just put it on the external drive, and then I email myself a copy of the story as backup. And then it's still always, the original still over on Google Docs. So I have 3 copies of each one. Plus, my wife is usually my first reader, beta reader. So I will email her a copy, and then I don't delete that email. So there's yet another copy out there. Years ago, I lost a hard drive, and I lost probably about, I'm going to guess, probably close to 100,000 words of stories that obviously that are just gone. So I'm very freaked out about that. Items on their nightstand. 13 years. What's 13 years, Michael? I miss what we're 13 years. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for asking. What do you write? What genre do you write? How long it takes to write? 13, yeah. Like the woman has books out. I think she's done another cozy mystery, like a 6-book series or something, or 10 books, something like that. But she didn't say how long it took her to write those. But now this is like her new one, and she's, I'm taking my time with it. I want to get the characters right, and blah blah blah. I've learned so much from the first series that I want to do this one right. I was referring to me. Oh, you're a mess. At least you're doing other stuff, though. At least you're doing zine stuff. You're doing your art. You're doing other things. You're not just. But you really do need to. You really need to go. Hey, I wrote this very, very long horror book, and that was my practice. Now let me actually write something else. What country are you from? Turkey. I have one for MondoCon that I hope to finish. Oh, good. I'm looking at Friday and Sunday MondoCon. My goal will be 5,000 words each day. Saturday is going to be tricky because we're going to have people here until noon, and then we're going to have lunch till 1. So we're only going to have 1 to 5. So we're only going to have like a half a day, 4 out of 7 hours kind of thing. So I'm figuring my goal will be like 3,000 words on that day. So I got to get 13,000 words done. Hopefully by then, me and Tom will be done with the second book of this trilogy, and the goal is to start the third book while he's here, and knock off a bunch of it. And also, the short story I'm writing right now, with this character, that will start a new 6-book trilogy. 6-book is not a trilogy. Another 6-book series for me to run concurrently with the Down and Dirty ones. So Turkey has a very rich history, I'm told. Has a long and rich history, yes. It's a very old country. I saw somewhere that they said like Iraq or Iran, one of those. Maybe Iraq is like the first country in the world. And then all the countries around that, including Turkey, came not too long after. Something like that. I don't know. Ottomans were invented in Turkey. Well, I love a good Ottoman. You know what? Especially with my leg not feeling well right now. So with my knee hurting, man, I put this leg up on a pillow on top of an Ottoman. Great empire, too. It was a great empire back in the days. Geographically, Turkey is a very rich country with many historical artifacts and museums available. That's very good. You only, as Americans, and I'm sure it goes the other way too. As Americans, you only hear about the negative things about Middle Eastern countries, European countries, Asian countries. I'm sure you only hear about the bad things in the United States and stuff as well. But yeah, I know my late father-in-law was in. He told many. He was in the Air Force, but he was during peacetime, so he wasn't there. He was there like between the Korean War and Vietnam, and he was stationed in Turkey, and he had a lot of great things to say about. I think that was one of those places he would have loved to have gone back to in his life. Yeah, I think everybody in the feed, except for you, I think everybody here is United States. I am in Jacksonville, Florida, and Mr. Frank's from New Jersey. The United States is terrible if citizens from the Northeast who think they are truly from the South just off. Yes, yeah, I agree. So we're all fat Americans here. With a bad knee. Advertisement has started. I don't hear. All right. I'm going to get some words in then. Until you come back. Pee-wee Herman was our greatest export. Yes, he was. I applied for a green card, but it didn't come. You trying to get out of Turkey? Debbie Gibson was our gift to humanity. Where in the U.S. will you go? Yes, where if they gave you a green card and said you were allowed to come to the United States, where would you go? I like when we get people from other countries who pop in. You learn things. And then they read things that Frank posted, and who knows what happens. If you fly to Mexico first, you don't need a green card. Listen to you, Mr. Frank. Yeah, then you're going to pay somebody $6,000 to sneak you over the border in a truck tire. I watch the show every week. The border crossing ones. They catch them. They're catching those people. I think I got to spray my icy hot spray on my knee again. Ooh, that's cold. That's icy. That stinks. I gotta put the fan. Goodness, icy hot. I didn't get the draw. Maybe I'll try again. I want Holland. That'll be nice. Can you do like a student thing? I don't know how any of that works. I don't even know how old you are. I don't know if you are male, female, something else. I don't know what. Like, remember we had the person, I forget where they were from, but we talked, but they were like 15. Also a writer. I forget what country they were from. We talked to them for a few days. And I think it was a female. I think it was a 15-year-old female who was writing something. I don't know. I forget everything. I don't know. And I spelled a bunch of words wrong. I don't want to come from Mexico. I don't blame you on that one. I've never been to Mexico. I don't think I would want to go to Mexico. There aren't many countries I would want to visit. And most of that with me has to do with food. Like, listen, I like Taco Bell just like the next guy. Like, I was in Texas once and they had like authentic Mexican food, and I'm like, no, I don't. I like Americanized Mexican food. There's also a funny meme that I saw that I laughed, and somebody said, "Does British food taste awful?" And then the answer was, if made correctly, yes. Like, we had a fan who met us at World Horror in Portland one year, and she brought this big box of. She's from the UK. She brought me this big box of chocolates, of candies, and gave me a bunch of them. And I was just like, none of this chocolate tastes good. There's no. They're not. It's not sweet. It's just. It's just not good. Very disappointed in all of it. It would be nice if I could get school equivalents, but Europe is far away and another continent for me to get equivalents more easily. Yeah. Maybe Canada too, but I think life is more expensive there. Plus, you gotta watch out for bears and yetis and hockey riots. Don't go to Vancouver. Vancouver, anytime they go into the Stanley Cup, they riot in there, in that city. Destroy the whole, loot the whole city. Canadians aren't as nice as everybody thinks they are. Plus, Canada geese. Although most of them are down here in my block now. Ottawa. Ottawa Senators. That question could be for about any of the dumb things I just said, so don't mind me. The Canada geese fly down here to Florida for the winter, but then they never leave. They don't fly back anymore. The last 10 years, they've all just stayed here, and they're like, why are we going flying back there? There's nothing in Canada for us. We're going to just stay here. And then they just stay here, and then they multiply. So there's like millions of geese, and they're protected, so you can't kill them. Although people have said that the numbers are so big now that they shouldn't be protected anymore. And then I'm going to go out there and just start beating them with sticks. The good part is I haven't seen them on my lawn in quite some time, because the lady at the top of the block, she feeds them every day. So they all just sit on her lawn and just poop on everything. That disgusting, toxic green poop they have. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. We go to Canada, all those cats are gone. Mary, stop smelling my leg. That's weird. Although it might be clearing up your nasal passages. There's Chad Lutsky. Chad, we were just talking about, we have someone in from Turkey. So we're asking them questions about Turkey. How is Oregon in America? I am not a fan of anything on that coast. When we went to Portland, Oregon, it was basically a homeless tent city. There was homeless people everywhere. It rains all the time. It's cold. It's miserable. People there were miserable. I don't recommend it. Chad Lusky, subscribe. 20 months, currently on a 1-month streak. It means you missed last month, Chad. What are you doing? Thank you for resubscribing, Chad. I appreciate that. I really do. It's like I'm not a fan of California. I'm not a fan of Washington State. I'm not a fan of Oregon. Nothing on that coast is interests me. I've been there a bunch of times, but will never ever go back if I can help it. Man, it is freaking windy out there. It's blown a lot of the leaves off the tree onto my neighbors, and I'm sure Ed's going to be very, very upset with us because there's leaves on his lawn. Stop. Cat likes the icy hot on my leg. If I come with a green card, I have to search a lot. Yeah, you got to figure out. You got to figure out what you're. I mean, based on what you are looking for a place to live. You know, like, do you want to be around a city that has a strong Turkish population? Do you want to just, like, you know what? I don't want to talk to anybody in Turkish ever again. You know, you got to figure all those things out. What are you really looking for? Up until the last few years, I always thought I'd want to live in California, particularly LA, but I can tell I wouldn't fit in. Too and superficial. Yeah, you're too. You'd be. You don't want to do that. LA is awful. LA is another homeless tent city. Every you can't walk on the sidewalks because there's a billion tents everywhere. Too busy. I never want to live in a city. Like, so I live in Jacksonville, saying that I live in Jacksonville, which is the largest landmass city in the contiguous 48 state, the lower 48. Only Anchorage, Alaska is bigger land-wise. I think we're like 12th or 13th in population. It's so spread out. It's like several small cities in one. So on this side of Jacksonville, up near the airport, I can get anywhere or do anything. Everything is here. Every now and then you're like, we don't have a Whataburger or something, and we got to drive. But otherwise, you literally don't have to leave this side of town. North side, you don't have to leave at all. But, we're the 10th now. Oh, you know why? Because they keep freaking building and building and building, because everywhere you look, there's 4,000 new apartments and townhomes. But I don't consider it, like, it's not a city. You know, it's not New York City, it's not Chicago, it's not Detroit, it's not LA, it's not Seattle. You know what I mean? Where you just city and skyscrapers and too many people and all that. We're still spread out. Jax is in North Florida. We are about 20 minutes from the border of Georgia on the east coast of the United States. Thank you. Coffee done. So today, my wife always buys me new coffee whenever she's out somewhere, and she was out. I don't know where she was. She's out at a store. Let's call it a store. I'm comfortable calling it a store. It might have been Trader Joe's, but it might not have been. Probably not. Oh, I think she was in the Walmart. And she bought me IHOP chocolate cookie coffee. She said, you gotta try this. And I'm like, you know what, I will. So today I made half a pot of coffee and I used it. And it is very, very chocolatey. It's delicious. I like it. I'm a big fan of it. So there you go. I will probably not have K-Cups for it for MondoCon. I was like, because I have the big display of all the coffee, the K-Cups on the counter, and I was like, oh man, I'm running out of stuff because I've been using a lot more K-Cups than making a whole pot of coffee. I'm trying to get down to like one cup of coffee a day, although I had 2 today. And but then I realized, in one of the bedrooms there's, I don't know, about 10 billion K-Cups in there, and we won't have JC this year, so we won't go through nearly as many, but I have still a full box of Dunkin' K-Cups, a full box of Death Wish K-Cups, and then about 7 or 8 other different kinds of K-Cups. That, not to mention I have so many friggin' things of coffee. So, I think we're gonna make a for when the people come Saturday morning for MondoCon. We'll get up early, and I'll make a. Me and my wife will make a carafe of coffee. So when the new people come in, we don't have to waste our time. How do you prefer your coffee? I prefer my coffee Britney Spears. You don't know what that means. Most people don't know. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts fan. Their coffee. And I used to work at a radio station. And on the way home one night, at like midnight, stopped at a Dunkin', and I said, I would like that light and sweet. Hot coffee, light and sweet. And he said, hot Britney Spears. And I said, what? He says, light and sweet. I call it a Britney Spears. So you know what? I like that. I like that a lot. So I call it a Britney Spears. So that's it. So I like 5 cream, 5 sugar in my coffee. Chad, unless you got a Michael O'Connell, be doing any art lately? I'll let Michael answer that. The answer is yes. He was just he did a comic book and a zine thing. Yeah, Britney Spears. You don't know who Britney Spears is? She's the American pop singer from the 90s. Google her. She's really cute. And she's really wacky crazy too, which is even makes it even better. She's a typical American chick. Alright. So yeah, so Britney's, they call it a Britney's. So in several of my books, because my book, I write crime thrillers and I write horror books, and in several of my books, most of my books, I will talk about food and coffee and stuff like that. The characters love to eat and drink, and I've introduced in a couple of series the term Britney Spears when it comes to coffee. Michael not in? Michael's not hanging around anymore? He has been doing artwork. He does Drabble zines. 100-word story, and he draws the artwork to it. I went and saw him at the Jacksonville zine thing on Saturday. There it is. I've done a few t-shirt designs. We had a zine fest here in Jacksonville over the weekend, and I have a cover to do. There you go. There you go. So yeah, he's been busy doing stuff, which is nice. It's really nice for all of us. All right, I think I'm going to wrap this up. My leg's starting to bother me. I got to move around a bit, and yeah, stretch it out. I will be back on tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. So everybody, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for the our new Turkish friend for coming and hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Hopefully you will be back. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or thereabouts. But I do a lot of Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. Let me see on... yeah, I will definitely be tomorrow. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. My wife is off for work. I don't know if anybody else has off for work. I will be working here writing a story. And I probably will see you on Thursday as well. So, there you go. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. Subscribe, resubscribe, and also subscribe for free on my YouTube channel as well. I will talk to everybody later.